If you drafted Monty Ball in the first round,
guilty.
We need to have a talk. It's over. It's not you, it's him. I mean, they tried Percy Harvin, and he was healthy this year, and it was basically like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It sure doesn't look like it. On offense, they don't look like anyone can stop them. People still look at the Panthers, and they see that 8-8-1 record. They're not that team anymore. Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this guy. Look at all the attention he got after one catch. Because he's in New York, and he's this acrobatic, exciting player. If he becomes one of the top couple of receivers in the NFL, and the Giants are good, he's going to be, I mean, you won't be able to turn on your TV without seeing that guy.
What's the deal with Percy Harvin? I mean, he's been through 3 teams. He's going to be on a 4th team here any minute now. Is he just one of those guys you get really excited about at first, and once you get him in the locker room, is it a problem? Or his personality? He's got some injury history, but I mean, he's got a lot of raw ability, and at times it emerges on the field, but not long term, it doesn't seem.
No, it doesn't. You had the issues in Seattle with the locker room issues. I think he punched Golden Tate before the Super Bowl, is the rumor.
Which is a problem.
That's a problem.
Bad for morale.
He gets hurt a lot. He had the migraines way back when. Now he's been getting hurt. The thing with him is, you look and you see all that talent, but he's a receiver, and he apparently doesn't run good routes. That's an issue. You know, you want him to be that X receiver, but if he can't run the routes and he can't get open, there's only so many jet sweeps you could run with Percy Harvin. He becomes a gimmick guy if he can't be that #1 receiver and do all that's necessary to be that. I think he's more talent than production in the past and probably in the future.
Now, do you think receiver has now replaced running back as that got to have your kind of bell cow, your marquee players at that position?
Yes, because the receiver can make more plays by himself is the simplest way to put it, I think. Dallas is the perfect example of this. They had a choice. They were going to tag either Des Bryant or DeMarco Murray, and I don't think they thought it was much of a choice at all. They were going to let DeMarco Murray test the market and keep Des Bryant. Des Bryant is a stud for them. He makes their offense go. DeMarco Murray, as good as he was last year, their offensive line helped make him what he is, and they probably think that another running back could approximate, 80, 90, I don't know, whatever, not 90, but a lot of his production. Maybe a committee could do it. I think most teams are starting to think like that.
We're looking ahead towards 2015 with Johnny Fantasy, John Halpin, our fantasy football expert. And is it too early for fantasy football people, John, to begin thinking about how their draft picks are going to shape up?
Heck no. It's always
What would John do with this
free time? I'm going to sit home and do nothing? I got to make up fantasy draft rankings for next year, don't I?
Now, Mick is sharpening his pencils and picking out new colored markers for next year. You've got to have the 2015 draft ready to go.
Darn right.
And it is 2015. So
Yep.
Are we starting at the top? How are we doing this for next year?
Start at the top.
All right, who's the #1 on the list right now?
Le'Veon Bell is #1 on the list. He was a lot closer to DeMarco Murray than the DeMarco Murray hype would have you suggest. Not all hype. DeMarco Murray had a great year, but Le'Veon Bell was right there with him. And Le'Veon Bell, look, DeMarco Murray, here's a stat. As good as he was this year, first 4 years, carries 163, 161, 217, 393. One of those things is not like the other, folks, and I wonder if DeMarco Murray's injury issues may come back. I mean, you never know. He's got a great line, but I'd rather have Le'Veon Bell catches the ball. He caught 80 passes or so. He's terrific. From a fantasy standpoint, Emmanuel Sanders, if you own him, you've been waiting all year. The receptions are there. The yardage was there. Sunday night, he caught a touchdown finally. Last night, boom, 3 of them.
How'd he go?
Boom, blew up.
Fantasy football is about running backs. At least it used to be till all this by committee stuff started happening. Who are some that no one was really thinking about on draft day, but they're rising up as the season got underway?
Well, Justin Forsett's a great one. No one thought about him at all. He was sort of a change of pace guy with the Ravens, and then, Ray Rice happened. And then Bernard Pierce didn't run well. And Justin Forsett, even then, you thought, well, maybe Taliaferro's going to be the main back and Forsett's going to be the pass-catching sidekick. They're getting him the ball 15 or 20 times a game. He's the 6th-ranked running back statistically this season in points per reception leagues. And they're going to keep giving him the ball. Pierce was a healthy scratch last week, so Forsett and Taliaferro were the only active guys. Taliaferro got the red zone touches. Forsett's just going to keep getting the ball a lot. Everybody, every year, finds a defense. They can't wait to draft him. The Seahawks were the first defense off the board. 8th round of most drafts. People said, this year's different. I got to get the best defense. They ranked 29th in fantasy points. Going into a season, you can't predict fumble recoveries, interceptions, sacks. Very, very difficult. Special teams touchdowns, too. They count for fantasy defenses. You don't want to draft your defense early. The Seahawks are another example. Next year, remember this. File this away for next August. Don't draft your defense till the second to last round. I am going to go with the most money in the bank guy on the board. As much as I like a lot of people, I like Antonio Brown better than everybody else.
Drats.
He's playing Saturday night. He caught 129 passes this year. They're going to be without Le'Veon Bell, possibly. So that means Ben Roethlisberger might throw to Brown even more. He has just been a monster this year. I think I'm going to take my chances with him. This little game here, we're going to do a points per reception, as we talked about earlier. So Antonio Brown's value, as good as it is in regular leagues, it's even better here. Didn't surprise me from a perception perspective. Point spreads are based on perception mostly. People still look at the Panthers and they see that 8-8-1 record. They're not that team anymore. I think this is going to be a close game. This is a game where, like you said in the other segment, they've got a shot to win this. I mean, will they? We don't know. We're going to have to see. But they're not out of this game. This is no blowout by any means. Look, if this were a 14-game NFL slate in the regular season or 16-game, whatever it might be, you would avoid this game like the plague. These two teams have played each other the last 3 years. They've played 3 games. They've combined for 69 points. There's going to be not a lot of offense to go around here. Gronk was terrific. Again, preseason, he and Jimmy Graham were 1 and 1A. Gronk was definitely 1. Actually, Graham finished 3rd behind Antonio Gates in fantasy scoring. As far as a value pick, we talked about Travis Kelce in the preseason.
I took him because you told me that.
He wound up being the 8th fantasy wide
good.
receiver, and that was with being the 14th most targeted, tight end, 14th in targets at his position. He was so efficient, and he kept looking, he's saying, Andy Reid, you have no wide receivers. Your quarterback won't throw the ball down the field. Please, next season, throw the ball to Travis Kelce more.